Every day, excessive delays and denials from big insurers keep patients from accessing the care they need. And when care is urgent, these delays can be disastrous. These practices cost billions in wasteful spending, driving up costs for American families. But while big insurers put up barriers, America's hospitals and health systems are in your corner, navigating endless reviews and appeals to get you the care you need when you need it most. It's time to curb these harmful practices and put the focus back on patients. Brought to you by the Coalition to Strengthen America's Healthcare.
All right, back here on the Yaffee program. By the way, don't forget to like the Yaffee Facebook page. Follow me on X at Yaffee or Instagram at Yaffee Live. And I've noticed a lot of the texters, you weigh in, you're spelling it right. Yaffee. See, what can I say? They say everyone's moving here because a lot of smart people live in Huntsville. Look at that. You spell my name right. You're proving that right. All right, let's end the show like we usually do. We have the Yaffee program Rewind. All right, so I started the show today talking about this deal that the Senate made to pass funding for Department of Homeland Security. And my main question was, if you're a TSA agent today, you know, if you work for the TSA and you hear that this deal is basically status quo, are you not upset? Even though you're going to get paid, I guess, now. It's like, what was all this for? Now, I spoke with Will Hampson earlier on in the show as well. He looks at this as a complete loss for Republicans. He says Republicans look bad here. They have caved. I'm not so sure about that. I mean, it is true that we're passing something that doesn't fund ICE, but it's also true that ICE is already funded this year in the one big beautiful bill. Now, Republican leaders, including Ted Cruz, John Kennedy, Katie Britt, I mean, Tuberville voted for this as well. They're saying we're going to pass it through reconciliation, ICE funding. So to me, anyway, it looks like this is another government shutdown where Democrats made a lot of demands and didn't get any of their demands. I mean, the Democrats did not get any of their demands to reform ICE. That is not a part of any of this. So what did they get? They got the opportunity to virtue signal. Now, when I spoke to Will, he thinks that the Senate parliamentarian is going to rule against voting for this through reconciliation. So then Republicans will lose in the future. I guess. I mean, it's hard for me to believe that John Kennedy and Ted Cruz knew that and still supported this, but maybe I'm wrong. But I don't see this as a big victory for Democrats either. Because people are asking, what was this for? What was accomplished? And I don't see anything that was accomplished. So I guess the Democrats will say they accomplished something, but it doesn't seem like they've accomplished anything. So they're going to virtue signal. So we got all this pain for what? Now, it is true some people might blame Republicans as well. But I don't know. You now have two government shutdowns. The first one, they demanded more subsidies for Obamacare. That never passed. Nothing changed there. So what was that for? And now they demanded reforms for ICE, and they didn't get them. So what was that for? So I'm sorry. It's hard for me to believe that this was just some kind of giant victory for Democrats. I don't necessarily buy it, but I know some of you disagree with me on that. By the way, I played audio earlier after it. Go ahead and play the John Thune cut I sent you, Austin. This is Republican Majority Leader in the Senate, John Thune, on the vote.
We are out of time for the critical responsibilities and tens of thousands of workers currently going without pay. And since Democrats have made fiscal year 2026 the year they choose to repudiate one of their most basic responsibilities as members of Congress, to fund the government, this is what we have been reduced to. We could be standing here right now passing a funding bill with a list of reforms if Democrats had made the smallest effort to actually reach an agreement. But they didn't. Because it's now clear to everyone, Democrats didn't actually want a solution.
There you go. So we talked about that earlier on in the show. If you missed it, the podcast is up. I also have the Alabama bullet points as well. One of the stories in the bullet points is you have two metro areas in Alabama that are among the fastest growing in the country, including Huntsville, which is one of the fastest growing metro areas in the country. Although I don't have to tell you that. You can see it with your own eyes. So I have the details of that in the bullet points. Then I spoke with Brad Peznal, political consultant. The podcast of that will be up, of my interview with him. He was talking about Congressman Dale Strong and what he said about Homeland Security during this whole fight. Then I gave the latest details on the war in Iran, Trump pausing any kind of strikes against their energy infrastructure. He thinks they want to make a deal. In fact, go ahead and play Trump cut 1 for me. Actually, I'm sorry, skip down to cut 2. Play Trump cut 2 for me, Austin.
They are begging to make a deal, not me. They're begging to make a deal. And anybody that saw what was happening over there would understand why they want to make a deal. I don't know if we'll be able to do that. I don't know if we're willing to do that. They should have done that 4 weeks ago. They should have done it 2 years ago. If we didn't attack with the B-2 bombers, they would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks of that, maybe 4 weeks. They then apologized for something they said, and they said, we're going to send 2 more boats. And it ended up being 10 boats. Mr. Witkoff and J.D. and Jared will tell me whether or not they think it's going along. And if it's not going along, maybe not. I'm the opposite of desperate. I don't care. I want to know. In fact, we have other targets we want to hit before we leave. We're hitting them on a daily basis.
All right, so we talked about that earlier. The podcast of that segment is going to be up on the website or anywhere you get your podcast. We had our interview with the legendary Will Hampson. He's mad at Republicans today, so it's a good conversation on that. I gave my take on all that. We had What's Trending with Austin as well. So if you missed any of the show, the podcast will be up. Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts. You can find it anywhere you get your podcasts. Thanks to Austin for producing today. Thanks to you for listening. I'll be back next time. See you then.
It's the Yaffee Program on WVNN.
Every day, excessive delays and denials from big insurers keep patients from accessing the care they need. And when care is urgent, these delays can be disastrous. These practices cost billions in wasteful spending, driving up costs for American families. But while big insurers put up barriers, America's hospitals and health systems are in your corner, navigating endless reviews and appeals to get you the care you need when you need it most. It's time to curb these harmful practices and put the focus back on patients. Brought to you by the Coalition to Strengthen America's Healthcare.
The NFL Draft, presented by Bud Light, is coming to Pittsburgh, and it's your chance to witness the future of the game for free from April 23rd to April 25th. Feel the energy of the NFL Draft. See the Vince Lombardi Trophy and Super Bowl rings. Meet NFL players and legends. Enjoy interactive games and live music performances, and be there as the future of the NFL takes center stage. The NFL Draft starts April 23rd. Register for free entry at NFL.com/draft access today.